Okay, I got some of these lifting blocks. They're for the coil springs. Coil springs are in the rear of that. You can see this sits kind of low. I got brand new springs in there. Plus I got overload shocks with coil over springs. You know, the shocks with the springs in it. I know the shocks with the springs in it are kind of old, but they still help lift up. And they got brand new springs. And they're Moog springs, Moog. I got the stock ones. I probably should have got something else that they handle loads as the progressive springs that, you know, the more load you got on them, the more capacity they could handle, the more force they have. They're different winding than this. I put the same exact stock ones in there, and I used Moog, which is a good part. And I'm going to put these things in them. These are the lifting blocks. These go, well, spacers, rubber spacers. They go in between here. You can see I had one in here before, and see how it splits. Piece of crap. This one's a little bit bigger, and they fall out too. These will fall out after a while. So what you got to do is, we got the zip ties. So you can put the zip tie around this way and one around this way, so it should hold it in there good. And that's just to show you what it looks like, you know. So I got to take the cannon off the back, lift up the rear, slide these in, put the zip ties around it, and they claim this is what they are. You know, and these have been around forever, man. You know, adds 2 to 2.5 lift, 4 per pack, 2 on each side. You put like one here and one like on the opposite side. That's what you do. You don't put them like that. You put them one on each side. So I just threw it in there just so you can see what it looks like. I'm hoping if it gives me 2 or 2.5 inches lift, I'll be fine. But I don't think it's going to do that much. But you can see part of the reason I'm sitting low is because of the trailer hitch. And down there you can see that's the receiver hitch, that black thing back down there. That makes it even sit lower. So what I want to do is I want to try to pull this up on the grass, and you know, if the grass is really hard earth, the tires won't sink in much, and I guess I won't have a problem with it. But if depends, you know, if there's all that weight back there and those tires sink in a little bit, I only got a couple inches before that class 3 receiver hitch drags. So now if I can get it where there's 4 inches of room, that would be a lot, because if I can lift this, if they say that's going up 2 to 2.5 inches back there, that's going to be 2.5, 3 inches, which is like that much. That's a lot. That would bring that up quite a bit, man. So anyway, I might do this Wednesday. I can't do it tomorrow. I got some other shit to do, but I figured I'd show you what these look like. I had these in the car since the 90s, and I just changed these springs out maybe a year and a half ago. And a lot of these, they fell out and they cracked and crap, you know. But they get old. I mean, they don't fall out. They don't crack right away. You know, it's after a period of time, after the rubber gets all screwed up, and they won't fall out if you do this. You put the zip ties around them. So you got to drill a hole in there. So I got, you know, these are all set to go. They're pretty easy to install. I just don't want to. I might go. If this doesn't work out for me, it probably will, you know. I might go to the Camino store, and they got a set of special freaking springs that can handle like massive loads or something, they say. But you know what? I don't think they're going to be that much better than what I got, because I already got overload shocks with helper springs in the overload shocks. I don't know how much those do, but maybe they're not as good as extra heavy duty springs. But it ain't going to do that much. So, just don't freaking work out, well, screw it, you know. It's got to do something. I figure it's going to give it at least 1.5 inches. Right at the axle, which in the back, that'll bring it up 2 inches. If it does that, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So for 20 bucks, you know, like I wouldn't have done this if, you know, I put brand new springs in there already. Moog, good ones. I don't want to change them out. They haven't been in there that long. I don't want to change them out once they, you know. And I was thinking about air shocks, but I know why they put coilover shocks in here. This thing originally came with air shocks. And as a matter of fact, look in here. That's the valve for filling up the air. You know, if you had them in there installed. But you know what's wrong with air shocks? They leak after a while. They're great when they're new. You know, and if I had air shocks in there, they can add they can level that thing right the hell out. But you know, give them a few years, not even a few years. A lot of times they leak really pretty bad, so they suck. There's little freaking vinyl, not vinyl, plastic hoses and stuff. Stupid fittings. There's so much shit they can leak so damn easy. Even not even at the shock, but at all the couplers and stuff. And when they leak, forget it. And so then you got like no shocks. That's why I don't really want those stupid things. So, see how this works out. Have it in there by the end of the week. See how it goes.